Rockwell representing Shogun Audio, Critical Music, Digital Soundboy, Darkest Straw. I think a lot of people think that I write minimal drum and bass, but I don't think I do. I think I write a very broad spectrum of drum and bass. And yeah, everything seems to be going right for me at the moment. Seems to be people picking up on my tunes, so yeah.
Well, let's go back to where it started. Like I say in 2009.
Okay.
What led you into the drum and bass scene? What was it that actually captivated you? So?
Well, like going way back, as in like how I first got into the music. Like where I came from, I lived in the middle of nowhere, like in the middle of the country. There wasn't really like any raves, and I didn't hear drum and bass till I was about 18. Right. And that was basically, I came home one night from some club on a Friday night. My CD player didn't work, so I turned on the radio and heard Fabio and Groove Rider. I know exactly the tune they were playing. They were playing Adam F, brand new funk.
Oh, sick.
And it just came into the start of that breakdown at the start, and I was just like, what is this music? It just took me from that. And then after that, I just was staying up Friday nights, swapping tapes over, and like getting my C90s out and recording the show. And then, but there still wasn't anywhere for me to go out and like kind of experience drum and bass like how it's meant to be experienced until I went to uni in Bristol. And then I saw Hype play with Craze at Cafe Blue. And that was the first drum and bass night I've ever been to, and I was just like, yeah, the whole energy of it.
That's a big night, that's to attend that.
Yeah, it just blew me away, completely blew me away. And then ever since then, it's just been a massive part of my life.
But like you're saying, that you fell in love with it as soon as you heard it, and it was just by chance that you found it.
Yeah.
Was it something that as soon as you heard it, you think, right, I can do this, I can be part of this scene? Was it
no, it wasn't. I mean, from where I was, I didn't know anyone, especially like when I first heard it on Fabio and Groove Rider, I didn't know anyone that DJ'd, I didn't know anyone that produced. It wasn't until I went to Bristol and I started to go into a few raves in Bristol, and then a couple of my uni friends, like one of them had a pair of 1210s, and I saw him mixing, and I was like, you know what, that can't be too difficult. So I got a bit of musical background, I was like, that can't be too difficult. So I got a pair, I think I got a pair for Christmas. Yeah, big up my mum. best Christmas present I ever had. And then yeah, I just bought loads of records and just got into that, and then it got about 2 years into DJing, and it just kind of.
What year was that when that was?
Not that long ago, man. Probably like 2003, 2004.
Right.
So I'm not like an original junglist, or I mean, you asked me for tunes from back in the day, I haven't got a clue.
Listening to your music and that, it's very futuristic.
Yeah.
It's very, you know, like people would use normally like a shuffle to fill in the gaps. You don't do that.
No. I think that's one of my influences. Like I used to listen to a lot of like Square Pusher and Aphex Twin.
Right.
What really struck me about their music was the complexity of the rhythms and the beats. And I just like, still now I listen to Aphex Twin record. I just think I haven't got a clue how you did that. Right. I literally haven't got a clue how you put those beats together. And I think there was a time in like drum and bass a couple of years ago where everyone was just rolling out the same two-step beat, and it's like, oh God.
Gets monotonous.
It just wasn't it. Like, I'm not knocking what anyone else is doing, but it's just like it didn't really flip my switch. So I just wanted to just try some different things, and I think maybe the way that people picked up on what I was doing so quickly, maybe other people kind of felt the same. I don't know.
But it's strange because drum and bass has been around so long, and for someone who's so new that really doesn't not understand, that's probably the wrong way of describing it, someone that didn't come from back in the day, and so then bring something new, so new to the table that everybody actually likes, you know, so jumps on, not just likes to jump on it. I mean, this is like the best thing, this is where drum and bass needs to go. I think
it does help. I think it's needed sometimes. People don't necessarily know about all the culture from way back from like 90s or anything. Like, I mean, you've got people like this guy called Stray, young kid from London, he's at uni in Leeds. He makes some really lovely, delicate music. There's a world away from like Wormhole and Ed Rush Optical and stuff like that, but it's still drum and bass. It's just coming from a totally new, different standpoint, and I think that's important. I mean, I love my Wormhole era stuff, and I love all my techie stuff, but I think every now and again it does need someone to just come through who doesn't know about all that and go, yeah, this is what I want it to sound like.
Sure.
Just completely flip the script.
Let's take it to the present now, where you are now.
Okay.
I know that you've is it your album that was dropped earlier this year?
I had an EP out in early February on Critical which did really well, which I was really happy with. And then I've had a few remixes out, and then added Soundboy. My EP on Digital Soundboy came out in May, and then last Monday my first single on Shogun Audio, Full Circle, came out. So that's kind of only my third solo release.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look, I really need to ask you about reverse engineering.
See this
and I've noticed on Twitter as well. I've seen Twitter as well. Yeah. And I'd like to ask you, what did you mean by what you said, what you wrote on Twitter?
I like that you've actually done a bit of research on this, because like, it's something that's been bugging me for quite a long time. But people seem to get this opinion of me that I'm this really elitist guy that makes all this music that's just, I'm trying to be really pompous and like you can't dance to it and it's really up its own arse. It's not. Like, it's totally different. Like, when I made reverse engineering, I was just having fun. And it's probably like the least elitist tune I've ever made. I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna try this, see what happens.
You know what, personally, I think it's because I listened to it and the bass line's there, everything's really there. Yeah. It's the beat. When people can't hear the beat and it's all reversed, then it's kind of throwing them off, do you think?
I think it's because maybe people can't see like how or why I did it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it's just kind of people think that I'm trying to take the piss out of them. And I'm not. It's just I made a tune. It's just a bit of just like, it's 6.5 minutes of some drums and some bass, and people are going on like it's I've gone around their house and slapped their grand or something. Seriously, like some of the stuff I've read, on the internet, it's just like I don't get it. It's just music. Listen
the thing
to
is,
it.
either way,
like it, don't like it.
You don't like it. Yeah, the thing is, you're making an impact either way though.
Yeah.
So whether they hate it, whether they do like it, you're always going to remember it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sitting there and thinking, right, I'm going to make something completely different, which is going to smash, turn drum and bass on its head. It's like I'll sit there and I'll make what I want to make, and there's nothing really more to it.
Well, tell us a bit about the process of reverse engineering. How did that come about? What led you to that sort of structure of beat?
When I used to have my day job, I was working in an office, and a song by R&B group, I can't remember the specifics, the song title or anything, but it has like a reverse kick and an intro, and I was like, that's got quite a nice flow to it. Yeah. So I'm going to go home and I'm going to see what it'd be like if I put some kicks in reverse, and then found some other hits and just kind of like layered it around them and reversed them and just see what, and it kind of gives it's a different groove. It's not like a bang bang bang. It's like a. And
I really like it. I really like it. I think it's taken drum and bass, like I was saying before. It's taken drum and bass where, because everybody thinks they understand drum and bass. Everybody, you can speak to 100 people and they'll give you 100 different definitions of what drum and bass is. Yeah. And this is what I really like about your music. It's the way that you can hear things and you think, I can totally switch that completely. And then when it's delivered, you're like, wow, everything thought to do. It sounds so obvious. Yeah. Yet no one's ever done it.
Everyone's just saying, oh, it's just reversed a few hits. It's like, well, maybe I have. Like, what do you want from me to? I don't know. It's just music, man. And I had a lot of fun making that tune, and I've had a lot of fun playing it out. And people look confused, and I played at a few dances, and it's absolutely smashed it. And it's kind of like I've had Loxy throwing his arms up and saying this, that, and the other. And I just like to. It's just music. I think a lot of people take drum and bass a lot too seriously.
Far too seriously, yeah.
And I think a lot of it maybe comes down to the fact that a lot of the people who are involved, who are like on the other side of drum and bass, like the fans and that, do want to be they're all like the wannabe producers and wannabe DJs. And I think that there's probably not another scene in the world that's like that. So maybe it comes from that. But I think people just need to have a little bit more fun, and I'm having a lot of fun. Like, I'm having fun with writing tunes and having fun with going and DJing, and I hope other people are that come and listen to me play.
Yeah,
it's not like an elitist thing.
So when did you first start production? When was that like? Where did you really think to yourself that I can actually do this?
I was kind of listening to the tunes, and I was kind of listening to like certain tunes and things like, yeah, that can't be too difficult, mate. That's like 3 notes. And the beat can't be that difficult. And I can remember like getting my little PC that I did my uni essays on, and getting my little copy of Logic and loading it up, and then having a little click about, and then I think like 3 weeks later I actually made a noise. So I just literally just sat there, no manual, just like click, click, click. No, I couldn't do it. But then I don't know, I just kind of persevered with it, and it just kind of all fell into place. It took me a long time for me to get the engineering side of things. Right, I still don't.
Do you do your own engineering?
Yeah, it's all done by myself in my bedroom pretty much. Like, I've still got the same speakers that I've had since I started producing.
But that's the main thing as well, because I've obviously done quite a lot of interviews with different artists, and it seems like what you know best, stick with it. There's no point trying to emulate or trying to do something you're not used to, because that will come across in the music that you produce.
No, completely. I mean, I'm still using my Alesis monitors that cost me 200 quid. I've got a MacBook now, not a PC kind of died, so I've got a MacBook with Logic. That helped me a lot, but then, I mean, I've got no outboard equipment really.
Right.
So it's just all done inside the box. Like.
Well, that makes it even more amazing for me, especially when you've got no outboards and things like that. It's like, you know, listening to your beats, like, you know, it's just like, everything's dead. A friend of mine says, like, nano, you know, everything's just dead small.
That takes a lot of time. That takes a lot of time. I think I just recently finished a tune that I can remember I was on about the 4th or 5th mix down, and I just couldn't get it to click, so I took it around to Icicles, because he's a production genius. Like, if he can't help me, like, he can't point me in the right direction, then nobody can. And I remember opening up the track, and he was just like, "You've got over 100 tracks of percussion. It's like this track, the project's like 5 times bigger than my biggest ever project. Just get it out of here. I don't even want to look at it." But I think that, kind of in a way, that my weird way of working in Logic, just like sort of lumping everything together and sorting it all through, I think that kind of helps me get my sound. And I don't think it would sound like it does if I did it in different ways.
You can hear very much like Alex Perez in your music, is that fair to say? I like Alex's beats, I like Alex's beats a lot. I mean, probably a couple of my favourite producers drum and bass, like Alex, Bicycle, Spectre Soul, Guy, signed to Metalheads called Juve, who's making some really good music. Then you've got like instrumental boys who I really respect. I really like what they've done, kind of just come through with a totally different sound. You've got a lot of respect outside of drum and bass. I think drum and bass, because we've like I said before, I've interviewed quite a few artists, so you get a bit of a feel of where people stand and where the scene is at the moment. And the scene has been looking for something new. It's become not just stagnant, it's become very monotonous. It's become very, everybody wants to look for that clear sound, that crystal sound, or they want that noisy type of feel to tunes and things like that.
Are amazing.
Absolutely, nobody can create them, so there's no point really trying.
Well, that's what I think. Like, you're never going to make a tune that sounds better than Noisia, because Noisia are just like, they're over there and they're better than everyone. They're just doing their thing. And you're never going to make a tune, do you know what I mean, that sounds as good as like some folks' drums, like his kick and the snare, it's just there. And I think people just need to concentrate on their own strengths rather than like, I've got to have a snare that sounds like this. I've got to have a kick that sounds like this. Because you could sit there and you could go, name producers, and all their drum kits sound the same, and that just doesn't interest me. That's your thing, that's cool, but that's not where I'm coming from. And I'll never reuse the same drum kit in a tune.
But you never use the same drum kit?
When I open up Logic, new project, that page is blank, like, there's nothing on there. And it's like, I don't know, I just don't see the logic in sort of just opening up your project and there's your kick and snare, and it's like there's your cymbals, and it's like just rearrange them again and put your stuff on top of it. It's just like the same tune.
Anyway. Well, one thing with drum and bass as well, people become pigeonholed. So you know, if you make a particular beat, for instance, and everyone expects, especially when people love that beat, everybody expects you to recreate that beat.
Yeah, I've never been about that. Like, God knows, someone will probably love me and remake Underpass like 5 times, and I've never really.
Big tune, I love that tune.
Thanks. But it's just, I've always just tried to like make the tune I'm writing now a bit different to the one I've done before, and just explore different things. And I think that's kind of shows in the versatility of my music. It is quite versatile. You've got tunes that sound good in a rave, like Full Circle, and a couple of my new things, and then you've also got a couple of things that you could just listen to in a car. And
in fact, I did actually read that about you. You're saying that you're one of the very few producers that your music sounds good, no matter where it's played. In your car, it could be in a club. You can always get the same results.
I mean, there's loads of producers, Jon Boda, that are doing some really versatile stuff at the moment. Like a guy called System, who's primarily known for being at MC. He's signed with Digital Soundboy. Like, you just never know what you're going to get from his music before you click on it. You can do big stompers or little really nice summery rollers. Then like what Alex Perez, you mentioned, is a really versatile producer. Icicle can pretty much do whatever he wants to. He's just a genius.
Do you find producers, especially like, well, I know you've only just been in the game like 18 months or so, but do you find that producers now need to be more eclectic, more versatile in order to be, you know, to reach the target audience that they want to reach?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of blueprint of the versatility thing and appealing to a lot of people. It's kind of got nailed by. I mean, you may not like their music, but like Chasing Status have absolutely killed it.
Yeah, right.
And they've come from nowhere, and well, they had their bits on Hardware, which I was a massive fan of, and like, yeah, they've just totally diversified their sound. And do you know what I mean? Like, people hate on Chasing Status, but if you're not into it, you're not into it. You've got to respect the fact that they've taken it to just that level. It's just, yeah, they're huge.
Yeah,
absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. Same with like Some Focus, he's taken it to a next level. Like look how big Pendulum are now, do you know what I mean? Like, you may not like their music, whatever, but you just can't like deny the fact that they're just out there doing it. Like, doing it.
Right, so let's bring us to the future. What can we expect from Rockwell?
I've just finished a remix for an American pop guy called like Kevin Rudolph. It sounds like Cash Money in America. It's got like, it's basically a tune with like Lil Wayne, Birdman and Jay Sean on it, which is kind of, it's like a half-speed drum and bass crossed with front remix.
Right, yeah.
So I had a lot of fun doing it. It's totally different again. So hopefully that'll come out very soon. Then maybe another. I think I've definitely got another critical EP coming. Which is 4 tracks. I think Aria is going to be the A-side, but then the other 3 are still confirmed. And then I've got reverse engineering, which we've touched on, and the flip of that is Tune With Everything In You, which is on Zero Tolerance Private Live CD, which should be out now. And then I've got a track with a guy called Clayton who runs Seminole label Renegade Hardware. Yeah, he's got a new sort of sister label for more sort of chill things called Black Audio, and I've got a track on the first EP of that, which I'm not sure the release date on that. And then I've got another tune called DJ Friendly Unit Shifter, which is coming. It's actually on DJ Friction's latest CD on Ministry of Sound, and that link's coming. Might maybe on a various EP on Shogun, but that's as well. Right. And I've got some other things.
That's absolutely huge, man. Definitely looking forward to everything.
Yeah.
We'd love to hook up with you again.
Yeah, definitely. Next time I'm back. Yeah. See what I'm at, if I'm still about.
Definitely.